the same security concepts, right? That sort of drew a box around SLAs. This is because like there's massive amounts of information and telemetry we could gather from systems to gauge problems, right? But if all we have are random alerts, right? Like we only randomly find the problems, right? Which is it's okay if there's nothing nefarious going along because someone could just raise their hand and say, "Hey, something doesn't seem right," and then you could be like, "Oh yeah, let me write this thing and fix it," right? But when you've got an actual actor that you're racing, right? That time to respond is really important. So that's why we have these solutions in place. So here's what's next. What security theory says is none of you should be getting alarms directly to your inbox because every bit of telemetry that you receive should be tuned for alert thresholds. So that, as in, like everything runs through a knock or a sock, right? And every possible potential piece of telemetry or alert that you could receive, right, is going there, and everything's got a tuned threshold.
Yep.
How far away do each of you think you are from that, or do you think we're just never going to get there as an industry? Because I know it's almost an impossible dream, I think. But
I guess I can. I'm going to speak up here. So I'm very, very confident about the vendor selection that we've made. So, you know my backstory, Matt, but I'll offer it up for the public. So, I've been a partner with what used to be called Scout Cybersecurity, maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 years. So, right, I was doing the cool thing before it was cool. And then Barracuda came in and scooped them up and made them this huge powerhouse, and they've gotten the telemetry portion of it to a point where I can really, as an MSSP, not sit back and forget about things, because that's not what we're talking about here. But what you just mentioned is what they have really swung very well at. So they don't fill the MSSP or the customer with a mass of alerts unless there's actually something that needs to be checked at, right? And they plug into enough points of the business currently with their capabilities where they look at everywhere where it's important to look at. They have the live wire sharking of the networks with their IDS sensors and their AI integrations with multiple brands of firewalls, right? They have strong integrations with all the major brands. They're very brand agnostic, and they plug into the M365, the Google apps, and the Amazon Web Services, and all of these things. And all that telemetry, billions and billions of data points are just going to them, and they're using their people and their integrations and their AI and their all the detection mechanisms to really sift through this and kind of get to that point. And it feels like a panacea at this point, really, with at least with Barracuda XDR, and they've been recognized about that in
so
Europe.
you shift all of your notifications into that platform,
100%.
and so and the reason I'm bringing this up is when you have an EDR agent, right? It's picking up anomalies, right? But it's only the type of anomalies it knows how to look for, right? To really do what Alberto's talking about, or what I was talking about, you have to have a platform. It's not just a platform, right? It's a process to operate the platform where you say, well, I'm just going to throw random telemetry at this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna filter, and it's gonna change the way I respond, because other than a human raising their hand, right? The only way I'm gonna get a systems notification is through this process, right?